Good morning everyone, this is Charlotte once again, and today's video is gonna be about networking events. I have 5 to go this week and I will be taking you with me and through the preparation, the event, and my afterthoughts. So I will talk to you a little bit about the events and what company will be there. So my first one is actually today, and it's gonna be with the PwC Consulting. So if you don't know this firm, this company is part of the big 4 of the finance firms. Then I have a Real Talk Finance, which is really with the McGill des Hôtels. So it's gonna be the finance people and a lot of companies that are gonna be there. For example, I took some notes about companies. So there's gonna be Mackenzie Investment, EY, National Bank, Accuracy, just to name some. Then I will have the Bain Company info session. So this is also for consulting. After, I will have the KPMG cocktail, which I believe is also for consulting. And the last one will be Huggison, which is a smaller consulting firm, but I'm really excited to go to a smaller event. So now for the preparation before the event, I'm gonna talk to you about the 3 tricks that I like to do just to be informed and ready for the event. So the first thing, and it's really basic, it's to learn about the company. Most of the company you're gonna go to are companies that you are interested in, so you don't have to learn from A to Z, but you still have to do a little bit of your homework. So learn about the values of the company, what industry they're in, and maybe the recent initiative they take. So then when you have a conversation with someone working there, you actually know what you're talking about. My second trick is to look at their job available, their internship available, so you know why you're going there, even though you don't have to talk about it and you really don't have to be like, oh, I'm coming here to get this job. If they ask you and they're like, oh, what are you interested in? Why are you here? You have a clear answer of I saw this could interest me because of these reasons, and it will just make a sense to the hire that you know why you're there. And my third trick is to look at the people who are hiring or people in the company that might be in the industry that you want to work. Add them on LinkedIn, because it will just make this easier. You will begin your contact list, and for sure at the event you will probably make some contact and add them on LinkedIn, but it's good to know and it's good contact. So these are my 3 tricks to do before the event. We are on our way to the event. We think it's gonna be fun. We're gonna tell you all about it after. Okay, so we just got out of the first one for PwC. It was, I actually liked going to it because I was scared of the big 4. I wasn't sure if I wanted to work at a company like this, but meeting the people really changed my mind up to now, because you really work in a team and all of them really seem to like their team, and the way they spoke about their experience at the company made me like it even more. So basically we talked to 2 person for maybe 15 minutes each, and we added them on LinkedIn at the end, and both of them were super nice and told us if ever you have a question, you can come talk to us. So this is what I like about networking events too. You get to meet the new people and go with cool people So we got 1 out of 5 done. I am walking to my second event tonight. I have my investment management class just before, and I think I'm ready. There were like 12 companies, so I had to study them a bit, and I'm excited to see how it looks like because it's really more for the finance part than consulting. And so I'm excited to go. I am going with one of my friend named Camille, and we'll see how it turns out. Yay! Hi guys, it is now Friday and I have been to all of my networking events except one. I'll get to that part later. So the second, I will explain a bit about what happened in all of the networking events. One major tip that I have learned in each of them, something that I've gathered from someone, and then I will finish with just my overall review. And so the second one was the finance real talk, in which it had almost 10 stands with representative of 10 different companies, and each of them were interesting in their own way. They had like specific job that they were looking for people, specific internships, so you had to talk with everyone. You got to talk with everyone, and this was super nice. So I talked to one individual in particular that was really interesting. But basically, me and my friend, we talked to the hiring personnel there, and she really liked us. She thought that our credential really matched for the job, and so she made us talk with the person that's actually on that team. And this person was wow. I have only good reviews for him. He gave us one advice, and what it was is, first of all, in an interview, like, try to stand out, try to stand your personality, because that's how interviewer will want to have you, because they see like what makes you different from the other. The second one is, don't be afraid to reach out to people on LinkedIn, because he said to us, like, how I got this job is I kept in touch with one of my link from LinkedIn, and I just kept like messaging with her at least once a month, asking for book advice. And this is the key point of what he said, is like, he asked for a book advice for her, then she would like recommend the book, he would read it, and he would come back with like what he thought about the book, what he liked about the book, and then he would like ask for another recommendation. And this is how he ended up having the job. And so overall, I just thought to myself, don't be afraid. Like, if there's a company that really interests you, reach out to people. They'll be happy to connect with you. So this was for the real talk. Then the day after this, we went to the Bain Company one. This one was just wow. The presenter was the best. Out of all the presentation, he was really good, really on point. I have to say, the Bain Company people, they're all amazing people. I really like the company, and what I've gathered from this is just go talk to people, because a funny thing is, I went to that event and I talked to a lot of people, and what ended up happening is I talked to some people that are like president of the clubs at McGill that I want to do. And this was just wow for me, because otherwise I wouldn't have the chance to like talk to them or meet them probably. And it was in a setting like we were at the same place, you know, we were at the same event, and so overall, just go for it. Just do it. I ended up going to the event, learning about the job, creating some contacts, and also like got to talk with some people from a consulting club that I'm really interested in. So this was my main takeaway. And then we had 2 events that night, KPMG and Huggison. I ended up only going to Huggison because they were like a bit at the same time, and me and Gab were a bit more interested with Hugginson. A smaller company, they have only 5 employees in Montreal. What I liked about that company is that they were fun. You know, when they made the presentation, we really felt who they were and what the team was like. It made me thought like I would like to work for them. I would actually really like to be a part of that team. Like prominently talk more English, and some of them will talk more French. And if they're looking for a bilingual candidate, it was really clear that they speak French when they're working together. And so showing that you speak French will put you in an advantage. And it's like this for everything. Like if you have an advantage, you have something that brings you out of the ordinary or that really fits into the company that you want to get in, showcase it. Really show it, because it will give you an advantage. And so that's a recap for all of the company. It was overall a really great experience. I ended up adding a lot of people in LinkedIn, and so these are potential connections that I have for later. Okay, so now that I've explained everything about the events themselves, I'll talk a bit about like my main takeaway and like what I've learned from this experience. And so, yes, you are going there to like put yourself out there and talk to the company. But what I've learned is that you're really going there to analyze if this company is a good fit for you. This is the chance for you to say, is this a company where I see myself, yes, working, but also staying there? I would suggest going into these events with some idea of what question you want to ask the people. So I'll give you one example. I had one question that I really wanted to ask almost everyone, and it is, what does your synergy and your team look like, and how do you work in team? Meaning, like, are you working alone at your desk? Are you working with 5%? Are you working with 2%? Is it always the same person? Are you always changing? How do you work within this group? And asking that question actually really opened the conversation, because the interviewer will talk a bit more about the behavioral instead of going really technical. And this I find that this is when you really get to know the person and you really get to know how it is to work at their place, and they get really more comfortable. I think I will end up the video there, and thank you for listening to this video. My main advice, go for it. Put yourself out there, get to know people, get connection. It will never fail you. And on that note, have a nice day. Bye.